6 o'clock. DJ, you wanna open the meeting?
Meeting 6:02. So, is there any records that have to be reviewed?
Anyway,
Examination of select board meeting
No.
April 22nd.
I wasn't able to
Table.
finish them.
Table those. All right, we are open and are we being recorded?
Being
Yes.
recorded.
So motion to table the examination of the meeting minutes from April 22nd, 2024 to next meeting.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
I'm gonna wait for Mr. Gates to get here to move on to the dog hearing, so we'll just try to get through a couple things quick. Is there any audience participation, public comment from down below?
As I mentioned several weeks ago, I keep you abreast of the progress with the old town hall building, which is now the post office and the training center for the fire department. We have received one check for $100 toward the renovations. We have two major proposals in which we are told we should have official answers on by the second week of August, and we're looking forward at this point to doing the project. It's probably the second week of September if everything comes to place. One of the interested parties to fund it came up and sized up the size of the operation, felt it was doable, and also looked at Bicentennial Park and said that needed work too, and maybe they'd have enough resources to help with that too.
Great,
So it could be a larger project than we originally planned.
that's great.
So that's what things stand as
Okay,
of today.
great. Thank you, George. Good work. I
Yep.
appreciate it. All right, we're going to hold off on highway. He's in the conservation meeting, so when he comes over, we'll move on to that. Do you want to start, Christina, with administrator reports, or do you want me to move on to action items?
You can move on to action items.
Okay. All right, so I would make a motion to appoint Nathan Kowalczyk as electrical inspector for the town of Blanford for the term July 1st, 2024 through June 30th, 2025.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
You guys want to grab, there's 2 seats here, take seats here. I know we have folding chairs elsewhere.
I'm gonna see him.
All right, okay.
Okay.
You sure?
Yeah.
All right, motion to appoint Christina Ferreira as town administrator for the term July 8th, 2024 through as long as we want to keep her, June 30th, 2025.
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
aye.
Aye, thank you. All right. We have warrant number 2 for payroll for payment. Is this one that we've seen and we're just signing on, Joanne, or we haven't seen this one
I
yet?
didn't even hear what you said. I was concentrating here, sorry.
That's okay. Warrant number 2 payroll for payment?
It should be in there.
Okay,
And the AP papers should be in for warrant number 3 as well, but not payroll for warrant number 3. It's not.
so we can approve warrant number 3 too?
No, you can't.
No, okay,
Not ready yet. Just number 2.
okay. These look different this week.
Yeah, that's the Vadar stuff.
Oh. There you go.
Everybody got a raise with us.
Yeah. No stipends got raised. Motion to approve warrant number 2 payroll for payment.
Second,
Any discussion?
No.
All in favor?
aye.
All right, we got 3 here. That's a refund warrant. Oh, wait, there's,
Yeah, I did the agenda last week. I didn't put those on there.
oh, the
The other ones,
other ones.
but they're all there.
Next up, we have a motion to authorize town administrator Christina Ferreira to approve grant contacts for us. Is there a
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Aye. Alright, hold on, I have this for you to sign. All right. Hello. Do you guys want to, I'm actually just gonna start the hearing, if you guys want to sit up here and I'll
Sure.
call other folks up.
Sorry, we're late.
It'll solve our, no worries, it'll solve our chair issue. Thank you. All right. Okay, so, under new business, we have a dangerous dog hearing, so hold on, I gotta follow a script and bear with me. So I'm gonna read the hearing notice into the record. And then I wanna make sure that we confirm that the notice was published, posted, and served to all interested parties, which was done. So pursuant to general law C 140, section 157, the town of Blandford Select Board will conduct a public hearing to determine whether two dogs owned or kept by Mr. Frappier and Ms. Thomas in the town of Blandford are dangerous dogs as the term is defined in said statute. This notice is issued based upon a report concerning incidents that occurred on July 3rd, 2024, where your dogs attacked and injured dogs owned or kept by Richard Gates and Eileen Gates of 39 Herrick Road, Blandford, Mass. 01008. So Joey, we just have to make sure we keep a copy of that with the minutes for the hearing. Okay, copy that. Okay, so first we'll establish ground rules for the hearing. Testimony is going to be limited to the issues directly related to the subject matter of the hearing. Only one person will be permitted to speak at a time. All discussion will go through the chair. All parties will be expected to conduct themselves civilly, and argument between parties will not be permitted. The proceeding should be recorded, which it is, and the recording will be preserved. Before I take testimony, I'll swear in any witnesses. It's all very official. And after we're done taking testimony, then we move on to the stage where the board, which is TJ and I, will deliberate and decide, make a deciding vote. So, just got the date and everything on file. I would have ACO, do you want to come up, pull up a chair? Mr. Frappier and Ms. Thomas, if you guys want to pull up a chair. And then you want to stand? Understood. Okay. All right, Mr. Gates, did you want to start with making a statement about the incident?
Sure,
So before you do, I just have to swear you in.
okay.
So raise your right hand and repeat after me. The testimony I'm about to give
The testimony I'm about to give
in this matter is the truth,
in this matter is the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Excellent, thank you.
So when this happened, I was away, actually. I was in Florida. My father recently passed away, so I was down there taking care of business. But I got this call from Eileen about this incident where these dogs came onto our property and attacked our border collie who was in our yard. We feel like it was totally unprovoked by our dog. And we firmly believe that these dogs were trying to kill our dog based on the nature of the attack, that they went for her neck. It actually ripped her neck open. That required several surgeries. And how many total trips to the emergency veterinary hospital? 5. 5, including 2 surgeries. So Eileen was able to, well, these dogs had our dog Rose pinned under our pickup truck. And they were circling the truck and continually trying to get at her. Eileen was able to separate them somewhat and called 911. And the chief of police and the ACO responded, and we thank you for your prompt response and your assistance to Eileen. was very traumatic. I mean, there was a lot of blood and, it was, a difficult scene. So Eileen was able to, get them somewhat away from Rose. And then our other dog was in a pen, our beagle was in a fenced-in pen. And Eileen was trying to get Lily, this dog, out of the pen. And when she opened the door, she tried to get the gate open, and one of these dogs was trying to get in and get at Lily, after they'd done what they did to Rose. But Eileen was trying to pick Lily up over the fence to get her out. And the dog was jumping up and biting her legs, and trying to pull her down. Right.
So she didn't have to go to the hospital.
Right. So Eileen put Lily back in the pen and, was able, had the presence of mind and was able to lure these two dogs into our garage with water. They didn't leave, they stayed in our yard and actually laid down under our tree for a while. And Eileen was able to, with water, get them into our garage and close the garage door and get them penned in there. So, then, the chief showed up and helped Eileen with Rose. Eileen was able to go secure our goats. We have chickens and goats as well. And, then Eileen was making calls to the various veterinary hospitals to see where we could take Rose. She took Rose to the hospital. So, I mean, it's still traumatic to us. I mean, we feel like we can't leave our property with the animals we have now between our dogs, our goats and our chickens, that if these dogs return, we feel like, you know, they have like a killer instinct and they're gonna, if they come back, they're gonna try to kill something else in our yard. And since then, we've talked to a number of our neighbors on Herrick Road that apparently there's some history with these dogs, killing chickens up the road and showing up on other people's property, where, things were done to contain them and find the owners and get them returned back to where they belong. So we feel like there's sort of a pattern with these dogs showing up on Herrick Road. And, when they show up on Herrick Road, we think they're looking for something to kill. So in summary, that's what happened.
Okay, and you also provided the select board with copies of all of the vet bills, pictures.
Right.
And we have that all, we'll keep that with record with our notes.
Right.
Thank you.
Yep.
Chief, did you want to make a statement?
So I
I'll
just,
swear you in first, though.
yep,
So the testimony I am about to give in this matter is the truth,
the testimony I'm about to give in this matter is the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the
the
truth.
whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Okay, go.
So, I was fortunate enough to be here up at the station when the call came in. I went down there. I observed Rose at the time she was being held by Mrs. Gates, and, we looked at her underneath and she was all torn up, pretty significant injuries. So, I had her grab a towel and I held on to her, kept her calm inside so that Mrs. Gates could go and secure the goats and whatnot. The dogs were at that time secured in the garage. In my dealings with these two dogs, in the past, I've had them up at the Blandford Kennels. One time before when they were running at large. This time I had them up at the kennels. They've always been very friendly to people, and excited to see people. But the minute that they see another animal, they just start, they start growling and they appear to become very aggressive. So my concern is for just the safety of the community right now. Not necessarily the people in the community, but the other animals in the community. And they do tend to, I think they've just gotten sort of the feel of the Herrick Road area.
Mhm.
So they tend to sort of migrate that way.
Okay.
I know during quarantine, and Jess might be able to speak for this, but they got loose and they were running around again, the owners were trying to corral them in. But I've had conversations with both parties,
Okay.
so I think we're all on the same page.
Thank you. Did you guys want to make a statement?
Sure.
Okay, I'll just have you raise your right hand. The testimony I'm about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Testimony I'm about to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. So, I mean, again, we feel terrible what happened. It's a sad thing. I mean, the times it got out, we've had, I guess our neighbor had been setting out fireworks and ended up getting through our screen window. They were freaking out. I think we've been for a safe place and just away from the noise. The chickens in this incident were the only time we've seen our dogs, heard of them being aggressive and seen that. We brought Remy and Ruger to dog parks. Still do that on the regular. They've been fine, fine with my brother's dogs and everything else. I can't justify what they did whatsoever. At all, and I won't try to defend that, but I don't believe they are like violent in nature, only because we have them around our family's dogs, random strangers at dog parks, and there's not an issue. I feel like in a way they're probably doing that out of fear as well, and I can't justify what they did, but I don't believe them to have killer instinct. I don't know really what else I can say about it.
Thank you. Did you want to say
Oh,
anything?
sorry, as well as we did get several quotes already through fencing companies.
Okay.
We should have something started in the next month or so, but we're just currently working tightly, mortgage bills and all that, trying to make everything work as quickly as we can.
Thank you.
I probably thought the same thing as say.
Is there anyone else in the audience that wanted to make a statement before we move on? Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Whoever.
Go ahead.
Will, go ahead. I'll just have you raise your right hand.
Could I get his name, please?
William Hicks. Sorry, yeah, I was supposed to have you give your name and address.
Well,
Sorry.
the address, but.
Yes, will you just?
16 Herrick Road.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Testimony about to give in this matter is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
The testimony I'm about to give is the truth, I guess.
In this matter,
Whole truth.
yeah,
Yeah.
nothing but the truth.
I had the dog show up at my house in earlier mid-June. They were friendly with me. They were never in contact with my dogs, but I was able to corner them in a back room of our house. Mr. Frappier ended up coming down and getting them and telling me that, well, once one of the dogs gets out, the other one follows them, and they were out running around town. I didn't witness them being aggressive, but it certainly speaks to the pattern that at least 2 or 3 weeks before this incident happened, they were loose in my yard running around. I was able to get them back to the owner. And without a resolution, I'm concerned to walk my own dogs on the road at this point. And I would hate to have to try to protect my dogs from their dogs and what that would entail.
Thank you. Eileen, sorry. The testimony I'm about to give in this matter is the truth,
The testimony I'm about to give is true.
the whole truth, and nothing but the
Whole
truth.
truth, nothing but the truth.
Thanks.
So I was there, but Dick did a good summary, and you have my summary and my pictures, and I don't know why it happened either. I know, Rose is an older dog, and she's partially blind and deaf, and I don't understand why it happened either. When Remy went after Lily as I was trying to get her out of the pen, I don't understand that either. But I know that I just maybe talk how I feel about the neighbors. We are, where we live on a country road in Blandford, we are subject to wildlife, but we do make provisions to protect our animals from wildlife. And at least in our experience, we haven't had them come up to the house so quick, so close. So I feel as though these dogs, because they're used to humans, were more comfortable coming closer to the house and the wildlife. And I do feel nervous when I leave the house. I just, maybe over time they'll go away, but I just would feel better if the dogs were always contained and know that they're cannot come back on Herrick Road, because if they, like you said, they seem to want to come back to Herrick Road. I will say they were not mean or aggressive towards me at all. And they actually backed off when I wanted them to stop chasing Rose. But I do, most important is if they could be contained and not, or whatever it takes to keep them off Herrick Road, and we can kind of settle down on our street. Because I still have other animals there, livestock, and of course, Rose and Lily.
Did you want to make a statement? Name and address, please,
That's Carrington, 41 Warnoka Road.
and animal inspector. The testimony I'm about to give in this matter is the truth,
The testimony I'm about to give in this matter is the truth,
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So, put the dogs under quarantine, which is pretty standard, when there's sort of a biting incident. I will say they are very, very friendly with people. You have some very athletic dogs. I saw the hole from the window that they jumped out of, and it's pretty high. So my only concern would be, I know you got quotes for fences, but I would want to make sure people are spending that money, that your fence is at minimum, probably at least 6 feet or higher, considering that window that they jumped out of. That would be the only thing that I'd have to say. They are very friendly with people. I haven't seen them with the other animals. You know, I know they were very friendly coming to the door and everything else. And I walk Herrick frequently as well. I would hate to be on Herrick and have any dog come at me while I'm walking a toddler, a baby, a friend, and 3 dogs, or horses, or whatever else. It is a pretty friendly road anywhere in Williamsburg is. But I'd hate to see anyone else get hurt, or even their dogs get hurt, you know, in that matter, because there are other laws that can be taken into effect, people, protecting their own families.
Thank you, Jess. Okay,
Could I
Yes.
add something?
Yes.
So obviously, we incurred a significant expense at the veterinary hospital for this, and we're hoping that we could work something out that we could recover
okay.
those costs.
I don't know if that part of that's something I should probably, have asked Mark. I don't know, and I'll read to you in a minute, the list of things that we can rule on, after we make our decision. And it does talk about insurance. I don't know in terms of reimbursement if the town votes on that. I think that that's something that you guys have to work out between yourselves, but I can double check with town council.
Elaine came to our house and she had, me and her did talk briefly
Okay.
about it. And we do plan on working that out.
Okay.
I have no
Yeah.
problem on doing that whatsoever.
Thank you, okay. Okay, so we did that part, sorry. We have all the evidence. All right. So we're going to, I'd make a motion to close the evidentiary portion of the hearing. Is there a second?
Second,
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
aye.
Okay, so we are now gonna go into the deliberation part of the hearing. So we're gonna deliberate in open session, and what I'm gonna read to you is. Well, I'll check this out. So we have 2 options. We have a nuisance or a dangerous dog declaration. So I'll read to you what the definitions are. So TJ, first of all, an attack is defined as an aggressive physical contact initiated by an animal.
Yeah.
Dangerous dog is a dog that either, without justification, attacks a person or a domestic animal, causing physical injury or death, or behaves in a manner that a reasonable person would believe poses an unjustified imminent threat of physical injury or death to a person or a domestic or owned animal. A nuisance dog is a dog that, by excessive barking or other disturbance, is a source of annoyance to a sick person residing in the vicinity, or by excessive barking causes damage or other interference. A reasonable person would find such behavior disruptive to one's quiet and peaceful enjoyment, or has threatened or attacked livestock, a domestic animal or a person, but such threat or attack was not grossly disproportionate reaction under the circumstances. So, I would make a motion to, declare the dogs, Remy and Ruger, as dangerous dogs. But hold on, I want to make sure that I'm wording that correctly. So I move based on the following facts, adduced at this public hearing, including but not limited to the facts that were stated by witnesses, as well as the evidence provided, that the select board of Blanford find the dogs complained of are a dangerous dog by reason of, and then I would, the dangerous dog definition that I just read. Is there a second to discuss?
Oh, I have a couple of questions.
Do you want to do second and then we can discuss it? Second to discuss?
Second to discuss.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, what have you done to restrain the dogs to your property lately?
Sir, we had a temporary fence put up, but now we've had 3 fencing companies come. We're having our 4th quote come on Tuesday. We are getting a quote for 2 quotes, one for a 6-foot chain link and another for 8-foot vinyl. And we are hoping to have that done as quick as possible.
Now, have you considered an electric fence?
Yes, we had one put up, and when they crossed over, they got scared of the electric. Instead of running into the yard, they ran off. And
They
every
went
time
over.
they shocked them, they would keep running, and as soon as we got them back in the yard, then they were fine, but I don't think they understood the concept of if they leave the yard, it was shocking. But now every time we go outside with them, we have them on a leash, using the bathroom, every day.
There's nothing mentioned. What kind of dog are they?
One is Remy, is a smaller one, she has 17 different breeds from Chihuahua to Great Dane. And then the other one is a Husky Shepherd mix.
Okay,
So, I do have a list, TJ, of, remedies that we can read through. Once we determine, if there was a violation, if the dangerous dog, if we approve this motion that I made, and then we can talk about some remedies.
okay,
So I would vote aye.
I,
Okay, so some of the remedies, that we can impose are, so we can order, one or more of the following remedies. So the first one, that the dog be humanely restrained but not chained, tethered or otherwise tied to an inanimate object, including a tree, post, or building. And then underneath that, we could do that the dog be confined to the premises of its owner or keeper, either indoors or outdoors, properly sheltered from the elements in a securely enclosed and locked pen or a dog run area with a secure roof, and if the enclosure has no floor, with sides less than 2 feet embedded into the ground. And then, so those are the only 2 options in terms of like keeping the dog on the premises. But we can adjust that. So if we don't want to require them to put in a dog pen, because this talks about a roof, and Charlotte, we don't want to require them to put something with a roof, but we just want to require that there's a 6-foot or taller fence
yeah,
that's properly secured.
yeah, I can go with that.
And so that's for that. And then the other one says, when removed from the premises, the owner or keeper of the dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled and restrained with a chain or other tethering device having a minimum tensile strength of 300 pounds and not exceeding 3 feet in length. So that would be, keep taking the dog off property.
Yeah.
The next one pertains to insurance, that the owner or keeper provide documented proof of no less than $100,000 insurance for claims resulting from intentional or unintentional acts of the dog, or of reasonable efforts to obtain such insurance if the policy has not been issued. It sounds like they're working that out.
Yeah,
For themselves. I don't know if we wanna.
that's a rider on your home insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The next one, that the owner or keeper provide the licensing authority, animal control officer, or other entity identified in the order, information by which dog may be identified, including, for example, photographs, videos, vet exam, tattooing, or microchip. I don't think we need to do that,
No.
chief, you already. The next one, that the dog be altered so it's unable to reproduce. Are you the dog?
That's all it's fixed.
Okay. The last one, which I'm not interested in, is euthanizing the dog.
that's out of the question.
Okay, so, I would motion to, order that the dogs be confined to the premises of its owner or keeper, either indoors or outdoors, properly sheltered from the elements in a securely enclosed, and locked fenced area,
Yeah.
minimum of 6 feet. We don't need to add that. Does that make sense? Does
Yeah,
anyone-
I move for option
That's-
two.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then I would move that when removed from the premises of the owner, keeper, the dog shall be securely and humanely muzzled and restrained with a chain or other tethering device, having a minimum tensile strength of 300 pounds and not exceeding 3 feet in length.
Second,
Any discussion?
no,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. We don't want to do the insurance. How are we feeling about insurance? How are you guys feeling as that pertains to you?
Well, that wouldn't affect us now.
It wouldn't affect you now.
Now, have you looked into a rider on your homeowners?
No,
Not yet. It's not that much.
They're not gonna get one with a shepherd and something that looks like a pit bull.
Yeah, probably not. You're right.
Yeah,
So the requirement to bury the fence, is that included in what you?
I did not add that. We can talk about that. This in here has it 2 feet embedded into the ground. Is that typically what fences?
it
I don't.
depends on what kind of fence you do.
Okay.
Most fences, posts are dug into the ground. If we do a 6-foot chain link, do the same thing my grandfather did with his chocolate labs, which you then put another piece of chain link over the grass, and let the grass go through it, so it can't be dug out either.
Okay. Would you be more comfortable if we amended the motion to add something regarding creating a barrier for
I
digging
think
out?
that's important, that they
Okay.
can't dig their way out.
Okay.
no,
That's what we plan on doing.
Okay, so Joanne add an amendment to that motion regarding the fence, that a barrier, be put in place so that, dogs can't dig out of the fence. I don't know how you want to
We're
word
gonna have
that.
to do it tomorrow.
Okay.
Many words, and I'll have to look at the tape.
Okay,
Couldn't keep up with that.
is there anything else that we feel needs to be added to make, I know there's a lot of Herrick Road people here, if anyone wants to. Yes.
So what are repercussions if the dogs do get out again, or if they do harm another animal?
That's a good question. I don't know if it's
well,
stated
the
in
owner
here.
should be totally responsible for that. For one. And then we'd probably be looking at euthanization.
I
We
think,
would go for adoption if that happened, and I don't plan on that ever happening.
so just so you know, we could never order an issue directing the dog be removed from the town to another town. That's not part of our conversation. We can't. Sarah, I don't know legally. I think that we would probably have to have another hearing and then it could go to the uglier side of
Okay.
the remedies.
Also, I have a question,
Mhm.
with dangerous dog hearing, since they have been, by the town, said that they are dangerous dogs. I'm pretty sure that means that they can't ever leave those owners. They can't ever adopt or
Do you-
sell those dogs to anybody else.
Do you know, Jess, if that's,
Yeah.
or, yeah, that's true.
I was gonna say, I feel like there are some stipulations to
Okay.
that. You probably would be able to give them up if you were giving them to Dakin, but with a dangerous dog tag on them,
Okay,
they.
Jen, you said that you believe that's accurate as well?
It is, yeah,
Okay.
that's accurate. They can't unless they're being surrendered. They can't go to another, they could go to another person, but the town that they would be going to and the people that they'd be going to would need to understand that they've been deemed dangerous dogs.
So I won't have to be notified, I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I did want to say too, that there is so if the dogs were to get out again, after this
Yeah.
decision is made, then the town could potentially take this to a court.
Yes,
And if the judge could determine that, punishments up to $500 or 60 days in jail. If this, decision is not followed.
understood.
And then for a second offense beyond that, then it goes to $1,000 fine and 90 days in jail. So just to kind of give you guys ideas that once they make this decision, it's sort of set in stone, and I'm sure you'll explain if they don't agree with your decision, what their steps are.
I don't have that. Did they, if they don't agree, did they?
So if you don't agree with the decision that they make today, you'll have 10 days to contest by filing the order, through the court. And then the
Oh,
court
yeah,
will
I do have that.
set you up with, you know, a date and you go and plead your case to them.
So you would, written notice would be sent certified first class mail as soon as possible, to all interested parties, for right of appeal, to the town. If that was something you're interested.
Is there a timeline for this?
For them to get the fencing in.
Yes.
There's not one specified, but we can put one in place. What do we think a reasonable timeline for a
Yeah,
fence?
it depends if our company will let us finance, I got another credit card to do that, but. We've got quotes from 9,000, from 6 to 9,000 right now, and. Right now, we're going just, right now, paycheck to paycheck, just getting through our mortgage, I just started driving CDLs, we are getting to a better place, but. I hope to have it done in a few months, but hopefully within 2 months to have the yard fence. Again, I can't control when the company can start or any of that, but we are making a decision at the end of the week which company to follow through with. And that's the most information I have right now. I can't make them work at any pace because that is up to them and their contracts. But we plan on setting the contract by the end of the week.
Okay. How does that sound to you guys in terms of length? I know that sounds like kind of a long time to be.
Seems like a long time.
Yeah.
Seems like weeks would be more reasonable than months, but
I'm just wondering if we could, set a date for like a contract to be signed to have it, to be moving forward with the installation.
If you give us a month, we can try, we'll be able to at least have a down payment for the fence. While still working with them to give her exactly what we have her as well.
Mhm.
We were personal finances, like my bill, well, our bill. What would be reasonable for you to me, so that the dogs are there and safe at your house until this fence comes, and when you think the fence would actually be under construction?
I can contact whoever I need to after we sign the contract of when they can start, but without having a contract, I can't say when it would be put up. So I have nothing to do with their company, so I'm not sure about that. But I can keep in contact with you, as day-to-day basis as it goes on.
So we could set a limit, of, let's say,
Well, you can
it should
correct
be,
it.
should be up to us.
what were you thinking? I'm sorry.
Well, like Dick said, it probably shouldn't be up to us.
Yeah, no, yeah,
But, as long as we're seeing progress
okay,
and that the dogs are still contained for all of us
okay.
on the street.
So, we could set like something like a 3-week and check back and make sure that progress has been made.
That's fine.
But in the meantime, until the fence goes up, anytime they're out, per the second motion that we made, anytime they're out, so you're taking them out, you'll need muzzles and you need them on like a 3-foot, no longer than a 3-foot leash.
Yep.
Is there anything else, any other places that they're escaping from your home, like the window situation, like what are you doing to?
So yeah, with the AC we have, I have it completely screwed and nailed into the frame, so they can't get out of that, and the rest of
Okay.
our windows are secured and locked.
Okay,
All the doors are locked, so there's no other way unless they went through glass, which I don't imagine would ever happen. This was a cartoon that this won't happen.
okay. Okay, so why don't we,
Kara, can I ask?
yes,
Could I just make 2 requests?
Yeah.
As the animal control officer, if the dogs do in fact get out, I'm contacted immediately.
Yes,
Even if you see them, if they're not on your property, that you contact me.
is that a
to-
911
All
or?
my information, you can call 911, I'll give you my cell
yeah, if I
number.
could do that, that'd also be probably a quicker way of getting a hold of me.
Perfect. That
That's
way,
okay.
I can at least make my way up that way and kind of keep an eye on things to make sure that they're not
Okay.
anywhere. The other thing is that I don't believe either of the dogs have been licensed in this town.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
So just show me proof of that. 'cause
I don't have
could not
papers on
find
me,
it.
but we did everything at this town hall and there should be record of, fund
Okay.
record of it
Then
here.
I'll double check, I could not find it.
Okay.
There's that, the rabies vaccinations, everything
Okay.
was registered here.
Okay, so are they currently registered
Yes.
right now? All right, then I'll go and check on that again. I couldn't find it today. when I was
Yes,
looking.
that's, was all done.
All right,
So let's, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, so just from review of timing of things
Mhm.
again, so what you voted on tonight takes effect tonight, except for this appeal period?
It
So-
takes effect
so
tonight.
What's the requirements for the dogs as of when we leave here? tonight?
So as of when we leave here, anytime they're off the premise, they have to be with the owner with a muzzle on a leash that is no longer than 3 feet. And they are starting the process of the fence. So we were gonna put a time on the fence. So let's say that, what's our next meeting in 2 weeks?
The 12th.
The 12th. In 2 weeks, we can see a contract that you've started moving forward with some sort of dates from the fence company.
Yep,
Okay, and then just obviously you're urging them to
Yeah.
let them know that it's important so that you can let your dogs out.
yep.
Does that work? You
Yeah.
think? Okay, so if we can add that to the fence as well. Does that like, not clear up, but does that, sort of make everyone feel okay leaving here? Like we've touched base on everything? We're good going forward?
So if we, on Herrick Road, if we see the dogs,
I would call 911 or, chiefs, yeah.
okay,
Did you have a question? Yeah.
Yes, probably unrelated, but do we have a leash law in this town? For any dog?
We have the state, laws in this town is what we adopted. So whatever leash law there is for the state, we do have that in our bylaws.
doesn't the town bylaw say something like a dog owner is supposed to have control of their dog at all times?
yeah, that's still part of the state law.
That's state law.
The dog doesn't have to necessarily be on a leash, but it has to be under complete control of the owner at all times.
Okay, so I think we're good, then, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you guys, everyone, for coming down.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So next up, we have Sumner Robbins. Give it a second.
All right, there we go. Good.
Okay, next up, we have, Sumner Robbins. We were going to, make a motion, so I'll make a motion to accept Sumner Robbins, revocable trust dated April 1st, 2008 as amended. Is there a second?
Yep,
Discussion, I would just, it's very generous of Mr. Robbins, to leave the trust to the town. If I'm reading it correctly, it is left for the care of the cemetery, on the Main Street there on
North
2026.
Blanford Road.
North Blanford Road.
Road.
Oh,
Where
okay,
he's- I'm sorry, Blair Road, where
Blair
is
Road.
there?
yeah,
okay,
North Blanford Cemetery.
Thank you.
which was very generous of him. All in favor?
Aye,
I don't think I have to sign anything, but you have to give this back
No,
to
no
Sarah, right?
signature, but I had a page that said what you needed to do.
The original must go back to Sarah and you're gonna file a copy in the TA's office.
Okay.
I'm gonna put
Thank you.
this over here for you. All that stuff to sign. All right. Watson Park Leachfield. Oh, Sarah just left. You want me to grab her?
Yeah.
Sarah and Ryan both. You can see if she's.
I think I have.
Hey, let's deal that. Have a good one.
No, I didn't clear up. Sorry. It was a TJ. No. TJ had a question about the leach field. I'll let him come. That was a Herrick Road turnout, huh?
I know, right?
Yeah, we're having a party here.
A lot of animals on that road.
So many
It's
people.
an after party.
I feel like we need like a street block party on Herrick Road. It would be a good
It
crew.
would be fun, yeah.
Sarah used to work for the water department.
Okay, so did you want Sarah, and, Ryan worked on the leach?
Yeah,
You had a question?
what I did is that old mower that was buried,
Yeah,
I got that out of there.
oh, good.
And I got that big roller out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And, I pushed a lot of that stuff back off the leaching field.
Okay,
And, what we really need to do is to get some of those small stumps out of there and rototill it and plant grass.
okay,
Is that something that you guys think you can do? Is that,
no,
no? Okay,
no.
okay, so we
You
can.
don't want to plant grass?
I'll plant the grass, but I don't wanna remove stumps
Yeah.
and,
Oh.
rototill it,
Okay,
yeah.
Okay,
is there anything else? So they will be doing, maintenance on the leach
Yeah.
field, I think 2 times. There was
Um,
2 more.
I think it was 3 times a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 times.
So we plan on doing end of August
yeah,
and then like sometime in October.
Is there anything else that you need them to do during the maintenance?
no, but I'll try and get up there and pull those stumps out.
Well, no, we'll look into hiring. I don't want you pulling stumps. We'll look into hiring some.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Jeez.
Yeah, so, all right, we'll hire someone to pull the stumps out.
Okay, all right, and do you, let me know when you plan on doing that. You guys can just reach out by email.
Okay,
So then we know, what we're prepared to go in for
Okay.
in, the end of August.
end of August.
Yeah,
Okay, Mary, did you have a
Just
question?
what kind of maintenance?
just keeping back all of the vines and weeds and stuff like that, keeping it clear.
Yeah.
Yep, mowing, weed whacking, brush cutting,
You guys cleared a
Yeah.
couple small trees, right? Just,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
See, the problem is the roots will go down into the leaching field and then the trees will really take off, so we have to, you know, we feed them good.
The grass is always greener.
Yeah.
great. Thank you very much.
Thank
You're welcome.
So then we should look into hiring someone to remove the stumps, and that will be Watson Park
Nice
Trust
to see you.
Company.
You too.
Okay. So.
No,
TJ
TJ, do you removal of the stump or stump grinding? You want it pulled
They're
up?
small, they just, you know, small backhoe can dig them out.
Okay,
There's not a lot of root there right now.
okay.
So that's just a small job, maybe we can just,
Yeah.
do you have any locals, local folks that you know of that we could reach out to?
Oh, anybody could do it, you
I can
know,
get a
they,
list.
all
Okay.
they need is small,
Okay.
you know, Mark or,
Okay.
you know, anybody.
All right,
That's easy.
thank you. Okay, next up, we have the cemetery gates. So we've been going back and forth with this for a while. We're talking about, hold on, which 2 gates are we talking about removing? Is it 20 and 21?
It's 20 and 19A.
Okay. And what roads are those on?
19A is on South Otis Road and gate 20 is on Julius Hall Road.
Okay,
And then I'd like to have the highway superintendent go up and evaluate the road,
okay.
you know.
So, the Springfield Water and Sewer Commission has agreed to take down those, 2 gates if we approve that.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the text. Let me just look at the text from Nicole and let you know what she said. So, the cost will be on Springfield Water. She said, should the town vote to remove those gates, I will coordinate with our maintenance crew regarding a time frame for removal. In the event that they are busy with another project, the locks will be removed and the gates will be opened until they can be removed by staff. Okay, so I would make a motion to remove gates 19A on South Otis Road and 20 from Julius Hall Road.
Second,
Any discussion? All in
None.
favor?
Aye.
Okay, so, do you have Nicole Sanford's contact information? I can give it to you.
I think I might. No,
Um,
I don't.
You don't, okay, if you wanna let her know just that we did vote in favor.
Sure.
She's also working on a new IGA. They're currently reviewing it internally, and she's gonna send us out a draft as soon as possible. And then they are working on a second IGA to contribute funds for the purchase of the new brush truck. That's currently under review now and will be sent to us as well as soon as possible.
Okay.
Do you wanna let Pete know that those are gonna be removed?
Yes.
Okay, and then I did see an email that, they're changing, let me see, I don't know if I can pull it up, they're changing the locks on the other gates so that is a pin, so that, fire chief. And I know that Adam saw that, we'll be able to get into all the other gates, we don't have to worry about.
Yeah, in case of fire.
Okay. All right. Is that all the stuff? Okay, Christina, did you have anything else for us?
So recently NEMA had reached out regarding a hazard mitigation plan, grant that I guess we were awarded back in 2023 at some point. It's an in-kind grant, which means they were presented with 3 quotes from Christopher. They would match up to, they would give us 75% of the total cost. We would have to come up with 25% of the total cost. Somehow this never started to move forward. I just found out about this recently. So I do have a meeting with Donald Gainley, and Michelle O'Toole from the state to sign the acknowledgement of program requirements for this grant. It's important because it's important the town have a hazard mitigation plan. Without one, we can't apply for other FEMA grants that would be super beneficial to the town, like the brick grants for bridges and culverts. The only problem is that these prices, Christopher, were quoted back whenever.
Yeah.
Probably not the same,
Yeah,
but the grant is not gonna change. We got 25,200.
okay,
We have to match in kind 25% of that, which 25% of the total cost, which the total cost was 33,600.
okay,
They're giving us 25,200. The town has to come up with 8,400.
okay,
So Jackie knows about this. I think they're gonna discuss it at a finance meeting.
okay,
I just wanted to let everybody know I'm working on it because I don't want this to go away. We need to get this plan in
Absolutely.
place. If not, then the town would have to pay for it in full and it would be a lot of money. So,
I would imagine that the finance budgeted for that, that's difference, they didn't, okay,
no, I've reached out and they can't, there's not, it hasn't been taken out from
Okay.
anywhere but separate. So
Okay.
I think it kind of just got started. We got approved and then
okay.
things happened and.
And so you're gonna get a new quote for,
So I reached out to Christopher and asked him who the 3 because anything over a certain amount, 10,000, you
Yeah.
have to have the 3 quotes. He said he reached out to 3 different companies. He gave me 2 of their names. One is a company in Northampton and the other one is a company not in Northampton. I can't think of where they are.
okay,
I do have their names. The first company, it did our hazard mitigation plan back in 2016.
okay,
She said that she wishes she could say, yeah, absolutely, we'll take care of this for you, but they're very busy right now.
okay,
She said, let me know what your time frame is. I did speak to Donald again, just to make sure, like, hey, what are the deadlines here? Like, I know that there's usually, and he said, once we sign the contract, we have 24 months. So that's good.
okay,
We're not on like a ticking timeline right now, but I'm going to call the woman from Northampton back and let her know it's not, she was thinking that I was gonna come back and say, we need it done by January, and that just wouldn't be feasible. She
Okay.
said it usually takes about 10 months
okay,
to put a whole plan together. So I'm gonna reach back out to her and let her know that once I do sign, it's 24 months from then, but so,
so that should be doable.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Did you have anything else for us?
I think so.
No.
I have an update for Hilltown.
You scared me. Will you just please state your names?
Yeah, my name's John Carrington. I am the Hilltown appointee for the town of Blandford for the Hilltown Community Ambulance. I just wanted to update the select board with that Hilltown is down on their second ambulance right now. It broke down and was gonna cost over $20,000 to repair. So the association decided it would be better to purchase a second ambulance. We are in the process of purchasing the second ambulance now. We should have the purchase agreement by the end of this week. And the ambulance should be fully fitted and runnable by the end.
You're a little choppy, John. John, how is this gonna affect our budget?
New trolls, so just our recurring budget will not see increase.
I heard that part. John, you're choppy. Would you mind emailing this information to our TA so that she can have it? His wife was just, did Jess leave? I don't hear the baby anymore. Oh, Jess,
I'll text him.
we.
Did you leave already?
Thank you.
I'm trying to.
I know, right? With just the one.
Would you want him to email?
Yeah, will you just have him email because we lost him at the end there. All right. Anyone else? We're good? Okay, so we have 2 executive sessions. I'm not sure quite how so we're not gonna reconvene, but well, we're gonna do this one first because Dave is down there still. Matt, is Dave down in conservation still? You're not sure? All right, you don't have to check. That's
Yes,
okay.
he is. I
He,
just saw him.
you just saw him. That's okay. We're gonna go, we'll come back to him in a second. Thank you. Okay, so, I guess I have to read both of them off. So we're motion to go into executive session. Accordance with GLC 30A, section 21A2, to discuss strategy sessions in preparation for, thank you, negotiation with union personnel or to conduct collective bargaining sessions or contract negotiations with union personnel. Second,
Second,
all in favor?
aye.
Aye. Not to reconvene. And motion to go into executive session in accordance with GLC 30A, section 21A2, to discuss the reputation, character, physical condition, or mental health rather than professional competence of an individual, or discuss the discipline or dismissal of a complaint or charges brought against a public officer, employee, staff member, or individual. The individual to be discussed in such executive session shall be notified in writing by public law at least 48 hours prior to the proposed executive session. Sorry, I'm reading fast. Provided, however, that notifications may be waived upon written agreement. And that person did not waive, so they want to go into executive session. Also not to reconvene. Kara says yes.
Yes.
All right, let's make sure all these are signed. I don't think we signed any of those. This is the dog hearing stuff. That goes back to Joanne. That's mine. This is here. Oh, that dog hearing was 0 fun. Oh my God, I hate, that's the second one I've done here, and that one was a lot worse. The first one was just a nuisance dog.
Yeah, I hate that.